Good evening, David Johnston.
And Marie-Louise Thiel.
First in Melbourne with the 5 o'clock news.
The sounds of yesteryear, or at least the machines that made them, went under the hammer today at an auction of vintage jukeboxes. Norm Beeman reports some of those doing the bidding weren't even born when the machines were top of the pops.
To some of us, that's the way it was, and it stirs fond memories. To others, it's a curiosity that still sounds good. And that's why these people gathered in Footscray today for what could well be the last bulk jukebox auction in this country.
At $1,600, you all finished, all done at $1,600.
But a lot of the specimens on offer today were long past their glory days. The mirrored tiles were missing off the facade, the 50s paint job was chipped and worn, and cobwebs filled the racks where the platters used to play. But it didn't stop one young man from bidding up.
Music, even look at the machine, you know, just getting up in the morning, having a look at it, make me happy.
Robert Ambrosey wasn't even a twinkle in his father's eye when this world-first 45 RPM machine was rocking. But the music of the era has him just as hooked as if he'd lived through it. Enough to make him pay more than $3,000 for two of them.
One in the lounge room, one in the garage.
Are you that much of a fan?
Yep, bloody oath.
It was a sweet day for the vendor. His father first brought jukeboxes to Melbourne 45 years ago.
What they're buying is memories. They all remember playing a jukebox, so that's what they're really buying. It's nothing to do with sound. If they want a good sound, they buy a new stereo system.
If I didn't have a dime and I didn't take the time to play the jukebox.
Norm Beeman, 10 News.
This is National 9 News with Peter Hitchener.
Teenagers who rocked around the clock and learned how to twist in the 50s took a trip down memory lane today. 90 jukeboxes, now considered collector's items, went under the hammer, and many went to people longing for a bygone era. Darren Linton has the story.
The chance to dust the cobwebs from a symbol of the 50s proved too great a temptation for the 150 people who attended the auction. The serious collectors, others simply want to let their minds drift back to the good old days. The jukeboxes ranged from the loud 70s models to the feature of the auction, an original 1956 Seaberg, the world's first 45 RPM machine.
You all finished, all done at $1,600.
A bargain piece of memorabilia, even though the Seaberg was already a teenager when its new owner was born.
I don't really much like this era, so that's the era I like. That's how I want to do my house up. It's going to go in my lounge room.
Nostalgia isn't the only motivation. Fully restored, the older models can fetch more than $15,000 at auction. Interest in jukeboxes continues to grow, even though their whir and clunk technology was surpassed long ago.
If they really wanted sound, they'd go and buy a good CD system. So they're buying memories.
Darren Lynch, 9 News.
Tonight, death in the outback. Police confirm sarin gas was tested in Western Australia. Jobs surge as unemployment drops to a 4-year low. And Rock of Ages, music memorabilia goes under the hammer in Melbourne. Well, it was sweet memories for sale in Melbourne today. For the first time, a private collection of more than 70 jukeboxes, some dating back to the 50s, went under the auctioneer's hammer. And as Andrea Johnson reports, they didn't go for a song.
But today it was something. From the first jukebox made in 90 to just blasts from the past. With more than 70 jukeboxes to choose from, collectors, baby boomers and music buffs were all hankering for the good old days.
Memories of when they went to milk bars and played them. A lot of people come up to me and say, I remember putting a coin in one of those things.
However, this group was happy to invest a lot more than 20 cents. For many here today, these machines ooze charisma. And to have a bit of that in the lounge room, they're prepared to pay thousands.
At 17 back. At $1,700 there. At $1,700.
For Barry Clayton, this is the stuff dreams are made of. He was delighted to get this 1958 multi-horn jukebox for just $1,750.
Oh, I've had one the same, identical, and I lost it actually, and wanted to replace one so that brings back memories again.
It's hard to imagine old CDs ever being the focus of such passion.